is Jose Mourinho. The Portuguese manager did not lose a home game from 2002 to 2011. During these years, he coached Porto, Chelsea, Inter Milan, and Real Madrid. Mourinho did not lose a single league match at home. He contested 150 games, faced 107 different teams, and none of them could defeat him.
Wenger gave me. What can you do when your team is not feeding you? We all know that when Kevin De Bruyne has the ball, Kevin can find him in any way, anyhow. And we all know he likes to make that second post move. So Arsene told me, ask yourself the right question. When I was a striker, I used to complain about everything, right? Always. So he doesn't give me the ball. And the boss said, do you think Dennis Bergkamp can give you the ball the same way that Fredrik Ljungberg does? So I started to think, okay, with Dennis, I knew I could move however I wanted to move. Then I started to think, Robert Pires likes a 1-2. I need to come with him short. Fredrik Ljungberg, I need to be in his path the way he runs, because if not, he will not see me. I started to think, how can I enhance the skills of the player instead of showing his weaknesses? So, for example, Kevin, you can make that, but maybe Bernardo Silva, you have to come short. He likes a 1-2. And I think sometimes Haaland is making the same run. Whoever is on the ball is making that run. And I don't think sometimes it does help the team in terms of who is on the ball. I think now they are a bit more predictable, if I can say. That doesn't mean you can stop them easy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they're more predictable.
Many would think it's Ronaldinho or Neymar, but these two Brazilians don't even make the top 3 in this list of players with the most dribbles. Here are the top 5 footballers with the highest number of completed dribbles. Number 5, Cristiano Ronaldo, with 816 completed dribbles. Number 4, Sergio El Kun Agüero. The Argentine amassed 832 dribbles in his entire career. Number 3, Frank Ribéry, the Bayern legend, achieved 939 completed dribbles. Number 2, Eden Hazard. As incredible as it may seem, the Belgian occupies the second position with 1,220 dribbles. Number 1, Lionel Messi, the highest Ballon d'Or winner, has completed 1,880 dribbles.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Sports Republic Show. We are Voice of the People. My name is Kizuke, and on the show today, we will be talking deeply on the Super Eagles talk. As you know, the FIFA World Cup qualifier is so close, around the corner, as many would love to say. But for me, it's very crucial one, like a very crucial one. And some questions will be asked right now, and they will say, which side was the worst side during the weekend? For those who follow the FA Cup, the 4th round, we're moving to the 5th round. How bad is it for some teams? Chelsea losing to Brighton and Hove Albion, you know. Some say it's the Premier League side. Now we take it away from that, like big games concerned. We saw Leyton Orient. I mean, the pitch was not so good, like not advanced pitch, you know what I mean? And then City were so on point, you know, Kevin De Bruyne with that fantastic goal. But I look at the FA Cup and I begin to wonder what happened to Ange Postecoglou and his boys. Tottenham Hotspur very soon. I'm so sure you hear Daniel Levy will be sacking that very man, the Australian. And also another one again about the stock point, not really basically at this point, but we're just looking to it, is where Liverpool lost to Plymouth. Did you see that coming? 1-0, the goal was a good one for Krojic and his boys. But quickly, let's talk of this one back home now. On the show today, we'll be having our guest join us from Edo State, Nigeria, in the person of Ayola Adeleke on this day. But we talk into the World Cup qualifier, which remains our priority and ultimatum. Like you could say, it's a gun placed on my head on this part. Now, I tell you, the first one we have here is about the Super Eagles. I tell you, as the Super Eagles are set to get their crucial FIFA World Cup qualifier match in March. Have begun, I could call it an important phase of team preparation. The coaching crew, the coaching though recently visited some Nigerian key players, underscoring their commitment to assembling a strong squad for the must-win match against Rwanda and Zimbabwe respectively. But as part of his effort to assess and connect with some of the squad players, Eric Chelle visited Alex Iwobi, Wilfred Ndidi, who both play in the English Premier League, as well as Moses Simon, who represents Legonsa Nance. When I saw that, I was so happy. I felt like he's going to make a move. My man was telling me he's just going to travel to England. Like, you can't just go to England. Please make sure you make a move to other places. And I was so happy. I know he's a Franco-Malian, right? I was so happy to see Eric Chelle making a move to Nantes, where Nantes played against Brest. But you need to know Nigerian qualifying campaign has been far from ideal, with the team failing to demonstrate, failing to dominate opponents that they are expected to beat. But this underwhelming performance has sparked widespread criticism, with concerns over tactics, squad selection, and overall team cohesion. As a result of the upcoming clashes with Rwanda and Zimbabwe, Nigeria is also being viewed, seeing this game as a do-or-die encounter for the Super Eagles, because we need to be at the World Cup and it's like an aspiration. But let's look into that part now. With just weeks remaining before these critical matches, Eric Chelle and his technical crew are expected to assemble a crack squad that can deliver the result badly needed by Nigerians. You could say Nigeria. The Super Eagles coach, technical crew also will need to focus on the tactical discipline, player fitness, and the team, the team chemistry in this very one. That's the picture you have on your screen. That's Wilfred and Didi. That's Eric Chelle. That's Tabubi. After that meeting for just that crucial game. But one question will be asked right now: why is he meeting these guys? Why is he making trips? Why is he traveling? Why is he in France today? Why is he in England tomorrow? Why are you doing this? Is this necessary? Of course, yes. I stand out for this one because this one is the right call. You are new to this team. You might be seeing these guys. You know them from a distance. But this one is the perfect one because he needs to have a TikTok or chip chat, have a big word, talk with these guys, and then let's have how we can make it be part of the World Cup. And that's how crucial it is. So don't be surprised when you see Eric Chelle out there, with some of these players. He might not really travel all around, but that's notwithstanding. But let's go with the next one that's raising eyebrows. Criticism is this one. I hope you know that. Let me even say it. I want to laugh, but I'm going to laugh, right? I hope you know that Trust Ekong should I say he's not the original captain of Super Eagles? Is that the word? Maybe yes, you can say that. But let me say it right. Let me say it clear so you need to know. The Super Eagles of Nigeria still have a skipper who is not in the national team now, who is not yet to be called, or who have not been called up. So that's the talk right now. We go on to keep saying we don't want to see the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, interfere in coaching selection or coaching selection of the guys who he wants to have in his team. But as I tell you now, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, is facing scrutiny as discussion arises surrounding the potential recall of Ahmed Musa to the Super Eagles squad for the pivotal 2026 World Cup qualifier against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. The Super Eagles find themselves in an urgent need to point of having enjoyed a disappointing start to the qualifiers, failing to secure victory in their first 4 games. Now, let's talk about Ahmed Musa, who is in the news, in contention, right? Okay, I'm liking this picture. I'm liking it. Okay, that's the man you have on the screen. That's Musa. Musa still holds the record as Nigeria's most capped player with 110 appearances and 18 goals. And he has recently been doing well for Kano Pillars in the Nigerian Premier Football League after mutually terminating his contract in Turkey last year. Now, since joining Kano Pillars, Ahmed Musa has impressed with 6 goals and 2 assists in the ongoing MPFL season, demonstrating that he still possesses the quality, the valuable skill on the field. Nevertheless, the debate continues over whether the performance warrants his call his return to the national team. An insider within the Nigerian Football Federation, or let's say an insider within the Super Eagles, indicates that Musa's experience could play a crucial role in the upcoming qualifier. An official close to the team remarked, William Trust Ekong has excelled as a stand-in captain, particularly in Musa's absence. But where the talk is really making big now is the part where we have this UK-based Nigerian football journalist, Samuel Omaenikun, that's his name. And he has voiced his opposition to Musa's potential recall, cautioning the NFF against interfering with Eric Chelle's selection process. He said Ahmed Musa has contributed immensely to the national team. However, recalling him at this stage raises concerns about fair selection. Do you understand? Now, what's the criteria for selection? The Super Eagles require fresh talent and players currently shining in top leagues. Now, when I look at this one, I begin to wonder, ask questions like, this is the biggest of them all. We want to see the manager, Eric Chelle, make the right call. getting the right players at the right time. Who do you want to bring? What will be your criteria of selection? If you bring in Ahmed Musa now, I'm not going to be here to say it's wrong or right, but he knows what's good for the team. But on the part where fans are, eyebrows are being raised, mouths waggling, and people are talking about Ahmed Musa, do we still need Ahmed Musa in our national team is my question. If I have our guest, if we have him here, you could join us very soon. But I'm still asking this question, do we need Ahmed Musa in our setup? That's one. Secondly, why is he still here? Because he wants a call. If Musa does not want to play for the national team anymore, I think he should retire, or he would have retired. But we still have Musa on the radar. He still wants to be part of the team. But if that man, talk about the coach, Eric Chelle, I'm not supposed to tell him what to do. He knows better, right? But if he eventually gets to call Musa, how do you explain this to the people? He's not part of the Chan team, So and last we heard was about him saying he likes one or two players in the Chan team, and that works for me. So why are we still having this Musa talk? So it's a big controversial talk because we are hearing, like the word says according to reports, some NFF body, some not like, I don't know, I'm just saying, some of the body, right, wants Ahmed Musa to be back to that side. How good would this be? If I have Ayola Adeleke on the show, joining from Edo State, Nigeria, virtually. Good morning, great to have you, Adeleke Ayola. Are you here?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. I'm very much here. And it's a very beautiful morning here in Benin City. It's a bright morning, and I think everyone is happy that we are in a new week. So, but going straight to the point here, well, Ahmed Musa, not a bad one, not a for me, as you already said earlier, he's still the captain of the side. He's the captain of the team, and he hasn't been given a farewell or has announced his retirement from the team. So I wouldn't say he's not the captain any longer. And now that the new coach feels that there is a need to bring Ahmed Musa on board, then I don't think there's anything wrong in that one. We've had the likes of Lionel Messi, retired and came out of retirement. We've seen other players like that also retired and came out of retirement. So it is not going to happen first in Ahmed Musa time. So it's a good thing that we are having him back. But the question now is he in good form? Is he in good shape to take up the Super Eagles captainship, or probably is just to be in the team as motivation, as a senior man thing? Where you have big boys in the team to come around and motivate the players and all that. But if Ronaldo is still playing at 40 plus, then Musa could also be given time to be in the team. If the coach feels that he needs him in the team, then who am I to say no? And I cannot question the coach. I love us to give the coach the free hand to do whatever pleases him, in as much as we get the ticket we are looking for at the end of the day.
So if you bring in Ahmed Musa to the national team now, don't you think this will raise concerns? I mean, the fans are really talking about Musa. Okay, already now we're talking about this right here on our comment section. We can have a message. We already have a message saying, no vessel, waiting Ahmed Musa won't do for national team. He's past his prime, and calling him is worrisome for the future because we are taking away spots from the younger talent and could take the spot. That could take the spot. Dare to Dream wanted to went as far as saying, please, sir, you can't compare Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo to Ahmed Musa. I mean, that's what you said, but I'm just looking at the part where one thing has been our problem, criteria for selection. Ahmed Musa, like you said, no disrespect, he's in good form. But I'm just looking at this part. We need this game. It's a very crucial one at this point in time. Ayola, be sincere with me. This game is not, I don't want to use the word, it's like a do or die. This game is a do or die. Let's be sincere with ourselves. On the show, when we keep moving, I'll let you know some of the players who I feel should be in the national team at this point. No disrespect to Ahmed Musa. Should he be part of the team? No doubt. Does he have the qualities as a leader? Yes, of course. But I'm looking at the crucial game at this point in time. Rwanda, in Kigali, Amahoro, we know them. And we play Zimbabwe, Nigeria. Is Ahmed Musa is he the messiah to rescue Nigeria to make it to the World Cup? Do you think this one will be good for the fans? For Eric Chelle coming in on this job as a new coach and the pressure you'll be having, bringing in Ahmed Musa to your team at this point, don't you think it might be detriment to the team?
Quite an impression here. I can see someone already talking that I shouldn't compare Ahmed Musa to Lionel Messi. I'm not comparing them. I'm only saying that if Lionel Messi could call himself out of retirement,
Okay.
Ahmed Musa, if the coach feels that he needs Ahmed Musa in his team as a means of motivation, as a means of uniting the camp for him, then who am I to say no to the coach?
Okay.
Everything still boils down to what the coach desires. We
All
shouldn't
right.
get something wrong here. Ahmed Musa is not taking anybody's place. And as you rightly said, you have people you feel should come into the team.
Yeah.
But the people you feel should come into the team, are they playing the same position with Ahmed Musa? If yes, what have they done in the recent time?
So
what can we,
No,
can we depend on them?
Sincerely, I think my opinion, I feel like you want Musa to be in that team. Because if you want to go, no, I'm just saying, because if you want to go by the rules and you want to go by who and who, I can justify it right here in the studio and talk about guys who are really doing well on the position. Now let's look.
The rules?
No, sorry, no. I mean, we are just talking because we are analysts, right? But I'm looking at Super Eagles.
See, something we should know is this: no matter what, there is never a perfect list. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, we are talking about. Some people are still complaining of his invitation to the Seleção team.
Yeah, you're
Portugal.
right. That's true. So
but that is just it. People will have different opinion. I'm just of the opinion. It's not as if I want Musa there or I don't want him there. But I'm just of the opinion that if the coach feels that he needs Musa in his team, then let the coach have his way so that there will not be anything like distraction. Okay, at the end of the day, if we deny the coach of allowing Musa to come, he can easily say they didn't allow me to use Musa. And that is one of the things that affected us. So whatever the coach wants, allow him have his way so that at the end of the day, we can have something to say, either to say thank you or to tell him, please, you can go.
I think my point meant Ahmed Musa wants to be in the national team. He wants to be called up. I know. And for the fact that he's not hung his boots, it means he's still very interested in being part of the national team. But this is just news. We've not heard from Eric Chelle. He's not said a word about if he wants Musa in his team. But you just like a report from the inside of the Nigerian Football Federation. But quickly, let's connect with Abuja as well. We have Edo. That's the man from Edo State. That's Ayola Adeleke. He likes to kill it each time he's on this one. But let's connect to Abuja now. Let's hear from him too. I think Nonso is on the sideline. Nonso, maybe he can tell me if he's a fan of this very story, if eventually happens to be true. Nonso, good morning. Great to have you.
And this news, has raised a lot of dust. But I'll be sincere, man. Like I said, the mantra is Operation Get Super Eagles of America, Mexico, and Canada. What team or squad takes that spot? Nigeria would to be a crime, a disaster for Nigeria to miss out on the World Cup for two consecutive times. So, for Musa, come on, the man has paid his dues. He's played. Don't forget, he's the highest goal scorer in Nigeria at the World Cup for Nigeria. Don't forget those brilliant goals he scored against Argentina in the 2016 World Cup. So the boy can play. Don't forget the 2 goals again against Iceland. So has he done well? The answer is yes. Has he retired? There's no. Is he eligible to be invited? The answer is yes. Does the coach want him? That's up to Eric Chelle. But the truth remains that if Eric Chelle wants him in his team, like I said earlier, we should not interfere. If he's going to bring motivation, he's going to bring experience, he's going to bring coordination, he's going to bring something from the younger players, a mixture of youth and experience. Why not let him have his way? So at the end of the day, when he gets on the ticket, we celebrate as one. If he doesn't, we show him the exit door. He's has my own issues.
From you, let me take it from you quickly. The network is quite bad from that axis, I guess, not Lagos and Abuja. I don't know the network on that part. But quickly, I heard from Nonso. He rather said, if the coach is still talking to me, he felt like I couldn't hear him anymore. But he's saying it's up to Eric Chelle. If you want Musa in your team, no problem. As Musa passes prime, it's not me to say, but okay, Nonso, go on, continue with me. You're here.
Narrative is he's been returned to the Nigerian Premier Football League and he's doing extraordinarily well. I love read out his figures. 6 goals, 2 assists. The boy is playing one of the best players in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and in one of those ways we sat down here so many times to scream the inclusion of Nigerian players who play in the league. So for me, like I said, it's up to Chelle. about the fact that Eric Chelle was visiting Nigerian players across Europe and France, Italy. Did I commend that? The answer is yes. Is that what he wants to do? To acclimatize, to understand, to have a bromance, a relationship with this player? Then I agree. Totally fine with me. So if he feels Ahmed Musa will bring again the X factor, the fact that the players respect him, the players love him, they instruct him, they do obey him. He's like a legend. I'm saying no. My problem is I have to wait until after the fight to decide whether he's right or not. But for now, all Eric Chelle needs is support. My issue remains if the inclusion of Musa is an interference from the NFF or someone from the hierarchy. If it is not, we should keep our cool, keep our calm, allow him pick his players. We had a 31-man squad from the but I'm getting there 2 players from the home base team, 2 from the home base players, and 1 goalkeeper from the NPFL as well. So let's wait and see. The list has not been officially released. It's just speculation here and there. But the man feels Musa is going to play an integral role. Then fine and good. We only judge him after the playoffs has been done, and Nigeria either makes it to the World Cup out on the World Cup proper.
Either makes it to the World Cup. I like the part either because at this point it's you're looking, we are second from, I say in a pigeon a lot of time. Now we carry second from back. But regardless, if Musa will be in the team, it's up to the coach. But I like what Musa really said on this part. He's not happy. He said he won't be happy if it happens to be that it's someone from the NFF that is making this push. But if it's from the coach, why not? Let him do his job. That's why he's here. But quickly, Ayola, I talked about the man where, we've had news right now about the Eric Chelle making moves. I was so happy to see him against Brest Nantes, where in the Ligon, Moses Simon featured in that very game. And also, Nigerians are really doing well. Shuba Akum scored against Le Havre for Leo Sad, New Loni. Let's talk about this man. Let's talk about Eric Chelle. What is he trying to get? I mean, how good is this part of his traveling? You and I know he can't travel around the world. He can't meet all of the players, but like the big ones, I don't know. How good is this that he's meeting all of those players, going to visit them in their club sites? How good is this for the national team?
Yeah, Eric Chelle can travel all over the world, but he can travel all over Europe. How many countries do we have in Europe? How many of our players do we have playing there? And thank God for their road network, their rail network. You can, from France, and go to Spain via the train. You can from Germany to Austria to Netherlands. So it is what you can even do in a space of 3 days.
Right.
There are games on Friday if you have any Nigerians playing on that day. There are games on Saturdays, there are games on Sunday, there are some games on Monday. So the coach can easily travel within Europe. And for me, I think it's a good thing. You are a new coach. There is a
Okay, we have him on the sideline.
For you to get to meet with your players, before it gets to. You are a new coach, so you should get to see your players, meet with them, let them know who you are and what you expect to get from them when they come around for camping. So it's just a familiarization, stuff, and for him to even see them firsthand playing, which I think is not a bad idea, at all from the coaching department and from the NFF. So it's a very good one. He has gone to see like 3 players already. And I believe that with seeing them, he will get to see more before they come around in March to play against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. And that's, I would definitely bring about a bond before the camp. So it's a good move for him going around to see them.
Okay, so quickly, I'll come to Nonso, but Nonso just stay on the sideline. Let's talk about Juventus right now. One man is in the story. His name is Victor Osimhen. Juve are planning a move in the next summer transfer window for Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Juve sporting director Cristiano Giundoli is reportedly to have already begun work on the deal. Victor Osimhen has a release clause worth in the region of 80 million euro that is active to only clubs outside of Serie A. The 26-year-old has maintained form in Turkey this season, contributing goals and assists for Galatasaray. Since joining Galatasaray on loan, Osimhen has scored 17 goals in 23 games across all competitions. After that very game, apart from Osimhen, the old lady, Juve side are also interested in signing Newcastle man Sandro Tonali on loan. Galatasaray also want to keep Osimhen, but Victor Osimhen is big, right? I like to use the word is big. We saw the game against the Demirspor. After that game, and Osimhen was still chanting with the fans. He's loved in Turkey. They love him so well. They wish they can keep him. They want to do all they can to see that they keep this man. But I don't know if they can. But Victor Osimhen back to the old ladies. Not back to the old ladies, back to Serie A. Joining the old ladies. Talk about Juve. How good would this be? So would you love to see Osimhen go back to the Serie A and go and fight his parent club later on just might be. Will you want to see Osimhen go to Juve or possibly get a club outside the Serie A?
First of all, I think Galatasaray cannot fork out that 80 million euros to sign him. So it will take an absolute miracle to get him to stay back in Turkey and play football in the Turkish Superliga. But Juventus, to me, is not a place for him to be. I think he's conquered that serene before with Napoli, where he won the league, he won the top scorer. He's played some good football there. I think every neutral player, whether it's a fan of the Premier League or not, want to see him play in the top league in the top league in the world, the biggest league in the world, which is arguably the English Premier League. Play for either Chelsea, the top guys in the top league, playing teams that can compete to win the Champions League and go very far. To the history of football in the league. So to me, Juventus is not a bad team. I must be sincere with you. Never a bad side. I must tell you, they're one of the perennial winners when it comes to winning titles in Italy. They've won Scudetto for a humongous amount of time, especially under Antonio Conte, who is now the coach of Napoli. But let me realize, returning back to Serie A wouldn't be the right move for him. I still don't think it's the right move. Maybe it could be a savior from all the issues he's had with Napoli. I think the bad blood. I don't think there can be a redemption in that relationship between him and the club. So he needs to make a move and make it quickly. But if Juventus is the place for him to end that relationship, maybe fine. At least just to ensure that he leaves Napoli and get regular playing football and playing a top team, because Juventus is going to be a top team for me. It looks like a step up from, of course, in quote, Napoli. Maybe not with Napoli we see on that Conte. But personally, I would want to see him in the Premier League, play for Chelsea, Arsenal, compete for the Premier League title, compete for the Champions League, show him, go into the deep end. This is where they want to see him, where the money is. He's conquered before he came to Italian Serie A, he was also, I think, was in France, where he was with Lille. He conquered France. He came to the Serie A, he's seen it, he's done it all, he's conquered. Why not take it a step further, get to the Premier League and do something wonderful? If he's going to Spain, he has to be Barcelona or Real Madrid. But at the moment, it looks like they're not in the action for his signature. So why not go to the Premier League for me? So for me, Victor Osimhen should be headed to the Premier League. Either Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. Juventus is not a bad place, but for me, I think he's seen it or done it all in the Serie A. To me, going back there could be just going back to somewhere like I say, his old playing ground, which is, I think he's overgrown, if you ask me. I stand to be corrected, but I think he needs the big move. And the big move must happen now, and that has to be the Premier League.
Hey, Ayola, do you want to go contrary to what Nosorala says from Abuja?
I don't think I want to totally agree for Osimhen going to Juventus. In my opinion, I feel there are other teams that can actually, where Osimhen can play for. Osimhen presently, during the transfer window, we heard of him going to Manchester United, Chelsea showing interest, Arsenal, PSG showing interest. What I think Osimhen needs to do is you need to act quick before you get to the age of what's his name now, Harry Kane, who stayed in Tottenham Hotspur for years. Because in all honesty, besides you making money, I think the next thing that comes with joy for a football player is the number of trophies that you have in your cabinet. I take a look into a team that can offer you that one, and not just any other team that also has quality players that can assist you. Not a team where you go to and you struggle for goals and all that. It is one thing to be a good player. It's another thing to be a good player and play alongside other good players. So for me, I think if teams like Paris Saint-Germain, come calling, if teams like Manchester United comes calling, then Osimhen should consider going there. Not Juventus directly. He's been in the Italian Serie A. There's nothing more he wants to achieve in there. He's won the Scudetto. So for me, I feel going to Juventus would just be more like a rigmarole in one place.
Okay.
Go to other leagues. They want you in England. They want you in Spain.
Okay, so go face the competition. That's the world. They want you in all the leagues. I mean, we want to see Victor Osimhen out there. But quickly, let's talk about 3 changes Nigerians expect Eric Chelle under his squad announcement. We're just saying the squad, the Super Eagles are set to resume their quest for the place in the 26 FIFA World Cup in the United States, Canada, Mexico. But their chances of qualifying is still hanging in the balance. Some like to say hanging by a thread. After a poor start in the qualifiers, Nigeria sits 5th in the Group C with just 3 points from 4 games, trailing Rwanda, South Africa by 4 points. But with the team in danger of missing the back-to-back World Cup, that's the one Nigerians will say, God forbid. Does it really work? Time will tell. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has appointed the Malian coach, Eric Chelle, to turn things around as the Malian tactician is preparing his squad for the crucial must-win games. The first one in March, we have Rwanda and then Zimbabwe, and days later in Nigeria. But let's look into this one. Let's quickly tell you, 3 key changes Nigerians are really anticipating. For me, our opinion, we want to see fresh faces. The Super Eagles under Augustine Guavon largely relied on experience, and this is just what it is. He relied on experienced players during the 2025 AFCON qualifier, even when some were out of form at their club side. But with a few new faces introduced, the core of the team remained unchanged. This led to calls for the shake-up, urging Eric Chelle to inject fresh talent into the squad. The introduction of new players is seen as essential to increasing competition within the team and ensuring that only the most committed ones, the informed players, get the nod. Now, that's number one. Secondly, introduction of home-based players. See, when I talk about home-based players, I like to say some countries sound like Brazil, traditional team, you know them. The Italian side, I know most of the players play their trade in Italy, but I'm looking at the space that they always have for their players when it comes to major tournaments, country-wise. Now, introduction of home base with the Nigerian Premier Football League, NPFL, showing signs of improvement in the organization and technical quality. There is growing demand for more home-based players to be included in the Super Eagles squad. Maybe not now, but I don't know, but maybe not really now. But I'll ask my guests, maybe they know more on this one. But fans believe that this could help strengthen the team in the long run and enhance competition within the team. Because the reason why I'm saying maybe not now, we can get in few players, but why I'm saying it is because at this point, it's not time for, like Noso Riley said, it's not, what's the word? It's not a trial time. We are not here to test. We want to get the result anyhow it is before you can start doing your test, whatever. So it's also believed that this would provide exposure for the domestic talent, potentially increasing their chances of securing moves to the top leagues abroad. Now, thirdly, this one is the basic one for me, dropping out of form players. The last time the Nations Cup, was AFCON qualifiers, we saw Sadik Omar in the team. No disrespect, please don't get me wrong. We saw, what's the name? Kelechi Iheanacho. And I begin to ask questions, what is the criteria for selection? Why are they in this team? They are not playing at the club. Before Omar made a move to, from to say that we know about the ACL injury that ruled him out for a long time, when Yezba was the man who gets starts. Then later on, he finally made a move to Valencia on loan, even though they are doing well now. I saw him play yesterday. But, from the bench though, Kelechi Iheanacho, if not that Sevilla was chasing him, he would have remained there. So, these guys, not part of their club side, but they're being called up, and you ask questions, they'll tell you this one a national team player. One of the biggest criticism of the past Super Eagles squad has been the inclusion of players who are out of form at their clubs. Chelle is expected to break this trend by selecting players strictly based on current performance and their sustainability for his tactical system, be it home-based or be it player that applies the trade abroad. Now, with Nigeria in a must-win situation, fans want to see a squad built on merit, with only the best performing players earning a call-up. The hope is that this approach will inject urgency and hunger into the team, increasing their chances of qualifying for the World Cup. I'd like to ask this question again. Let me come to Abuja, and also, let me ask you, I know your mouth not good, last time it was so hot from you. Is there any player in this team that we know in the past team, better word, that you would not want to see Eric Chelle call up?
I've said this a lot of times, that for once, I don't think Kelechi Iheanacho has any business in that team, at least not for now. When last did he kick a ball, I said it last time out. Remember, I don't think he should be in that squad. Talking about Kelechi Iheanacho. You talk about Sadik Umar, he's playing few games here and there, but I don't think he's fully fit as well. But like I said, I want to leave that job to the job of the coach. But there's any one player I must talk about. It has to be, of course, a certain Kelechi Iheanacho. He hasn't kicked a ball all through the months. Just got a move to Middlesbrough and hasn't hit his stride as well. So he should be at least overlooked for now. I'm not saying he's not going to be a quality player for addition to the Super Eagles. I think he's going to be. But for now, he should be excused a little bit. But I think when we talk about excluding players who are not on form, I think there's an argument against that in the sense that some players who are very good in the national team side. Doesn't matter how well they play for their club side. I'll take you back to the Super Eagles of old, when we had a certain Kelechi Ikechukwu, who would always score in goals every other day for the Super Eagles, whether in or out of form for his club, whether he's doing well in Spain or not. He comes in, he does his job, very prudent. He said Peter Sazel Devinge as well had that form for his national team as well, despite whatever issues he's having with his club sides. So there are players who are very good playing for their club sides than playing for the national team, than playing for the club sides. As much as I enjoy your rendition, in the sense that you talked about the fact that who can we take out? For me, rather have the Kelechi Iheanacho. I want to leave the job for the coach. You know why? When he fails, we can hang him. We can hang him. When he succeeds, we can praise him because If we sit down here and say, oh, we shouldn't do this and do that, we interfere and we lose, we say, oh, he will call us and tell us it was interference. So I'm more interested in what does Eric Chelle want for the national team at the moment. I've said that, I think I'm sounding like a broken record right now. For the opt-in time, I'm saying the same thing. I don't think we players. I told you the coach has barely 4 or 5 days with these boys and they will go play a game against the no. That he could a player from NFL. Curve. And it has been a learning curve. So I don't think we need fresh players. I repeat again, I don't think we need players from the MPFL because it's going to be a learning curve for them. And yes, it's good. It's going to be good for him to drop some players who are out of form. But it also ensures that when he's bringing in players, he has to bring players who have got enough quality to at least fight for a place in the starting lineup, not to occupy positions on the bench. Because look at the top teams in Africa, they've got players who can vie for positions in the starting lineup still on the bench. So that when you change, the quality doesn't drop maybe a notch or two, but not as 80 to 40% or 60% of the quality drop because the player is out. So for me, it's more about the quality of the players he's inviting to replace those who are in form. Who are not in form, I beg your pardon, because you could drop a player who's not in form and invite a mediocre player just to fill up the gap. No, let us invite quality players who are in form, who are hungry to play for Nigeria, who are not being cajoled. I repeat, cajoled to play for Nigeria, or being coerced, or being begged. No, please, no. Let us get players who have got pride to play, who wants to play for Nigeria and fight out on the pitch of play. It's as simple as that. So for me, I don't think we need fresh players. Maybe in the future after we qualify for the World Cup because it is Operation Get the ticket to USA, Mexico, and Canada. I don't think we need MPFL players. Maybe just 1 or 2 to add quality to the league. But right now it's about getting the best players, the best hand for Eric Chelle to pick the best team that will go and play against Rwanda and Zimbabwe and get all 6 points, maximum points that can boost our chances of qualifying for the World Cup. For the fresh players, but who play, they have to be top-notch players.
Players, I'll take that from you, Nonso. But I think for everything you've said, I want to go. I will want to banter some of the ones you've said that I might not really agree. I know we've seen it in the past, but like this is like a trend. That's why we have a new coach. That it's been like that before, or that it's been happening like that before. I don't really think that holds water for me. Sorry to say, on the part where you talk about national team player, that's the word that's been causing problems in Nigeria. Iheanacho is not playing when his club side, but he's a national team player. None of these guys occupy this position. It would interest you to also know that this is an NFF call. It would interest you to know that these guys are playing for the nation. It's a federational call. And for every selection, it should be justified because we are seeing that, see, the more they play for Nigeria, it's a responsibility, it's a big badge. They are playing for the people and we are seeing it. So I think every call of that, what's the name? Eric Chelle of Villarreal at that point, Moderinge, even though he had more of club good football though, we are playing well in the national team. I just think, my opinion though, I think that those cases should be resolved. You know, not playing well at your club side, I think first of all, it's the call-up. The best should be called up. That has happened before. We've seen some guys play well. How can you tell me at this point in time, this is 2025, modernity, and you tell me a player is playing with the national team and is not doing well at club side, you still call him? What's the message to the guys who wants to be part of the team? It doesn't send well. So let's be realistic. If we want to say that has happened in the past, so don't really should continue. That's why we want a coach that will stand to the face of people and say, let this guy be part of the team. Those who get starts at their club side. If not real starters, but play regular every weekend, you're involved in the game with your team. You might not really be a starter on your club side, but you're being looked out for. Because when you say this, it sounds like you're saying we have national team player. Nobody get that space. Let's be realistic. You can't throw an MPFL player into the game against Rwanda. You can't throw a fresh player into the game against Rwanda. Like I did tell you, it's the same core players that played the qualifiers before that will likely play this one. All you need is a coach who will psychologically put them in the right place and the right mind. And if you are looking for any style of play, like I told you earlier, it will be almost impossible to say style of play, but it's only 4 days. And it is 4 days with Coach Eric Chelle in charge of this boy. So it will be an absolute miracle, I repeat, to get this boy playing swagalicious football, for lack of words, against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. So for me, if you cannot throw an MPFL player straight into the deep end, you can't throw a fresh player, let me call names now, or Latunji, Gift Orban, or some other players who are doing quite well into the deep end. If you want to replace them with Super Eagles campaigner, you bring a Kevin and Pogba, you're not throwing him to the big end. You bring a Cyril Desires, you're not throwing him to the big end. But you bring players who have not had a cap or before, and we want to bring him to stand against Rwanda. That for me is a
risky venture that could collapse.
No, let me hold on. So I guess you're not really getting it right.
Faces.
For the Super Eagles that we have currently, one thing is inevitable. It might not even be Eric Chelle calling. It might be the NFL. It might even be Guavon. I feel like it's the technical crew doing the job because he's new to them. But I'm only looking at the part. Those guys who we don't really want to see in the team, if you look at it very well at this point, because once they are good, they can bring them back. If you look at it, you find out they are not starters. Who are starters in the national team? Those guys, the starters in the national team are players who play well in their club side. Let's look at the back line. Ola Aina is playing well. He's getting starts. What's the name? Ekong is also doing well for his club side. Samuel Omaenikun, when he's fit, he's on his A game. Calvin Bassett plays full up. Boavista, the former Boavista man, currently Olympiacos, or Bruno Yemechi. So the guys who get starts are not my problem. But I'm talking about the call-up. We are talking about not starts now. We know that the coach cannot go back to the he can't start picking a new player because it's not a test run. Like it's a World Cup qualifier and it's a must-win game. But let me hold you on that. Let me connect to Ayola Deleke on this very one. Ayola, is there any player you don't want to have seen that team?
One of those things I'm always careful of talking about is the player you invite to the national team.
Right.
I think there's something we need to understand here. The first thing is club football is totally different to national team football.
Yes, definitely.
That should be well, understood. And meaning that there are some players who might not be even playing in their club side, but we know that they've always been giving their best when it comes to national team football.
You know because Ayola, you know because they were given the chance, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are some players that doing well in their respective clubs. We've seen them in the Super Eagles for a long time. Cyril Dizes, Terence Murphy, those guys were banging in goals week in, week out for their respective clubs. But they were called to the national team and they messed up. So should we keep on calling such players? And at the time when they messed up, if those games were critical games, I'm sure those guys were even involved when we failed to pick up results against Zimbabwe, against Lesotho, against Rwanda. And we want to even give chance to players who have not proven themselves in the national team. At this point in time, we have to be very careful. See, I understand the fact that there is a need for us to bring in new players, the future, and all that. This is where we need to fault the NFF.
Right.
Because if the NFF had made the appointment, immediately Finidi George left his position.
Yeah.
There were friendly matches. There were other games. There were qualifiers, dead robbers qualifiers, that those new players in quotes now would have been used to test run. You don't just bring in a new leg where there is no synergy, either at the back line, in the midfield, or up front. There is surely going to be, messing up of all things. So what we need now is, who are the players who have been doing well for the national team that you call them? The point is not about whether they are playing in their respective club or not, but have they been doing well anytime they are called upon for the Super Eagles? If yes, then let them be in the squad.
Okay.
Because number one, they have the understanding with each other. Number two, they know what is at stake. Number three, they also want to, make a statement for their club side coaching crew to know that, well, I'm doing well for my national team. Probably you should find the reason why I'm not doing well for you at the club side. So, but for a player like Eric Chelle, yes, I also have my reservation on the player like that. I don't think his presence is needed in Super Eagles for now. But I think there is something that is making him to be in that Super Eagles. And what is that thing? Kelechi Iheanacho is a product of Future Eagles. And that project is still on. So NFF, in every power, in my opinion, NFF would always want that Future Eagle representative, at least one of them, to still remain in the Super Eagles, so that they can always use it to preach, the name of Future Eagles. Oh, we are doing well, we are working. You can see one of them is still in the Super Eagles. That's it. That's why I feel Kelechi Iheanacho is still making the list, because he hasn't delivered anything for us so far.
I'll take that from you. I think I'd like to say it again for our viewers who are watching us from anywhere, all over the world. I like to say this: we are not saying we have the power. We're just talking. One thing about the media, we always definitely talk. If the coach does it right, we'll talk positively. If he does it wrong, we'll talk, negatively. That's just why we are here. So we're not saying we know the score. Whatever score we see, we are going to take it. But I'm just looking at the part where we want the best. And I'm also not saying, from here in Lagos, Nigeria, I'm not also saying that these new players should come in and get a start. See, I know how this works. I know what the national team call-up means. I know the part where we've seen players who play trade abroad and still come back to play like Ayala rightly said. We know about Akpobore's story. We know how good he was. Fantastic. I mean, the world is amazing. When he plays, potential guy at that point, and he was playing, how skinny he was. When he made a move to the Bundesliga, what he did in Germany, he conquered the world. We did see that. But in the national team, how many goals does he have? We know Victor Boniface is another player who's struggling at this point. Now, but I just want to go on one part where you talk about Ayola, where you talk about some players who are called up to the national team and they've not lived expectation. Because one player came in 1, 2, 3 times and did not do so well, it's not a yardstick for me not to be called up again. Because if a Victor Boniface can be called and we keep bringing him, then I think a player like Cyril Deza, who last played for Nigeria against Eric Chelle, when Mali won Nigeria, he had a shot coming in and did not do so well. So, but let's keep that aside. Let's really look into this one now. 3 players for me, in my opinion, who I feel deserves to be named in Eric Chelle's first Super Eagles squad. The reason why we always ask question about what criteria for selection is, if you're not picking the best or the good players at your club side, see, if you play the game well, there's always a difference when you see an analyst that played the game to a level and just a pundit that just know about the game. It's quite different. Playing week in, week out at your club side gives you that edge. It means that you want to be, it means that you should, wherever you find yourself, you want to play. It's not, what's the name, Terry Murphy. For all of the time Terry Murphy has been called up, has he been a good starter? Have there been faith in him? See, he looks like an artist who is very good, but people don't believe in you, or your producer does not believe in you. It does not work. Now, we need to see the manager give time. It's true that this is not the right time to start doing test run. But let me talk about 3 strikers who, for me, deserve to be named in the Eric Chelle first Super Eagles squad. And then, squad, not team now, squad now. Now, let me quickly let you know, Nigeria gears up for this very one. Number 1 man I have on the list is Tolu Arokodare. Because I wonder how I'll be doing well in Europe and you're not calling me. So what is now the criteria for selection? Arguably, Nigeria's most informed striker in Europe this season. Arokodare has been exceptional for Belgian club side Genk. The 24-year-old has netted 16 goals and provided 7 assists in 30 matches, demonstrating his ability to deliver consistently. Now, his physical presence and finishing prowess could provide an alternative attacking option for the Super Eagles. Second man I talk about is Cyril Deza, whom people don't even talk about. After a turbulent period that saw him linked with winter transfer, Deza has regained his form in Rangers setup. The 30-year-old has been pivotal for the Scottish club, scoring a hat-trick in the Scottish club game against Strasbourg FC and finding the net against Manchester United in the Europa League. Maguire went to go and pay school fees somewhere. Now, with 18 goals and 6 assists in 10-7 appearances, Cyril Deza, his serious considered for me, his concentration should be talked about, especially as Taiwo Awoniyi, Paul Onuachu, and Samuel Chukwueze struggle for form at their club side. Now, another man again I want to talk about is the man you saw against Leon where he got the score, the former Arsenal youth prospect and enjoyed the typical spell at Ajax, Chuba Akpom. Playing for Leo now, before making a winter switch to Leo, a move aimed at reviving his career, Akpom has already made an impact, scoring on his debut against Leon where he down 2-1. His technical ability and versatility can also, you could say, could be valuable asset for Eric Chelle and his squad. But I must tell you, Nigeria forward Chuba Akpom made history by scoring on his League One, or you could say League One debut for Leo, and that game was on Saturday night. Akpom now is the 4th. He's now the 4th Nigerian to achieve this feat. Moses Simon, Victor Osimhen, Terry Murphy all scored on their debut for Nantes, Leo, and Laurent, respectively. The 29-year-old started the Leo game and he scored in that very game. But I'm just looking at this part. For all of these guys I've said, see, even when Gift Urban was scoring and playing so well, nobody is looking at him. Let's be realistic. See, if there's anything about coaches or players, the word is players who wants to be called. Because the World Cup will be a part where you can't be at your club side, you must come back home. And how bad will it be? Ayola, please, reason with me, forget P-Square, not missing the quarter. No, so reason with me, more talk this matter. Because it's crazy, right? How do you bring in, how can I be a player of a club side and the country is now a country call up and I'll sit back home, I'll be watching them play. You now will be an analyst now. Where in a good day if Nigeria not go World Cup? You not go bad.
Yeah, something I must quickly say is I must commend you, and I understand that you have played football to a level at some point in time, and you know what it takes when players are being invited or not invited. And nevertheless, Tolu Arokodare, we've seen him do well for Genk.
Right.
But this is a critical time We have to emphasize that again. This is a critical time
Yeah, true.
where you need synergy understanding. So I'm not saying it shouldn't be invited. That's why I said if the NFF had made the appointment of a new coach for a long
On
time,
time, right.
then by now they should have been invited like 2, 3 times for friendly matches and to prosecute the remaining dead rubber matches in the AFCON qualifiers. And that would have helped them to come into, because even if you get to invite these guys now, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them. Why?
Right.
Because they know that it is a big thing is at stake for Super Eagles here,
Yes, do or
which is
die.
the World Cup ticket. So they themselves coming on board, it's going to be like a pressure because
Yeah,
they would
true.
want to deliver.
Yeah, I
and
understand.
that could, cost for them at the end of the day. So for me, what I would just suggest is we have these guys playing down already. We can see they are doing fine. Let's keep on watching them. I don't know what the invitation of Super Eagles has been about, if these guys are even in the list or not in the list. But I will keep on saying, let us keep to the opinion of the coach for now. I'm sure the coach must have had time to watch some of them, if not physically. He must have watched their games and probably like house with the technical team and say, okay, let me call these guys. There is a way I can integrate him into my team. He knows his style. He knows his philosophy of football he wants to play, and he knows who to bring on board. So for me, these guys you have mentioned, Siridi has added before, Tolu Arokodari, yes, should be given time to play. But for Gift Urban, I would want to suggest that Gift Urban should start from maybe under 20,
No,
under
no, no, no,
23.
no. Gift Urban is not
Super
my
Eagles
Gift
is not-
Urban is not my radar for now. But I'm just saying. I mean, I feel like the strikers.
So-
Gift Urban is not for me. I felt Aroko Dare,
Yeah.
Desals, and then Akpom Shuba.
Yeah, Chuba Akpom, he said that he's looking forward to be invited to the Super Eagles of Nigeria as well. Not a bad idea. He's not a young boy. He's 28, I think. So his age alone can also be a good factor for him. So if these guys are seen as people that can be invited, then good one for them. I don't have a player I'm projecting for the
Yeah,
Super
I
Eagles of
understand,
Nigeria.
right.
All I want is players that I want to be in America myself for the World Cup.
Okay,
So
okay,
I
thank
know
you. So,
what I
right, thank you so much, Ayola Deleke. I know you've got a lot to say. Thank you so much. It's always amazing each time you're on the show, all the way from Edo State. Thank you so much. We could do this again tomorrow. Hopefully, I want to say thank you to you. And also, so you didn't really say much today. I placed you for bench. Someone, because now, person wants to start match today. We just boost or can't change it. We just play somehow. But also, thank you so much. We can do tomorrow again. Safe guys. You guys have been amazing with me on the show. I mean, it's at a worthwhile moment. I could go back on YouTube to watch this show. Thank you so much, Abuja. Thank you so much, Edo State. And also, quickly, let's get some comments. Or I have this one there to Dream says, this guy's where you, this is your analyst, I said they call, okay, wait. These guys where your analysts, they call. Know what it means to wear the Nigerian shirt. Please, do you think this current Super Eagles side know what that means? And from there to Dream 122, please keep your comments coming. Hopefully for tomorrow, I'll bring it on the show. And Hope Balogun has come to say, if Lookman is not available, Musa should replace him, not the bad one. But on that side, we have plenty. We have Simon, we have Ejuke. But Musa, no disrespect, the skipper of the side remains Ahmed Musa. But thank you so much, Lagos City and beyond. It is on us know that the show will have to come to an end. You already know that everything that's got to start will definitely come to an end. But at this point, we need to call it a wrap on the show. Hopefully tomorrow, we should be a Tuesday, the Champions League, you know what I mean, the playoff game come up. I'll let you know for everything that you want to know about sport world, and we'll talk deep about that one. Join the guys later on the show this evening. Jerry Appello will be here to kill the show more for you with Ikechukwu as well, to do it well on the Locker Room Show, 5 p.m. That's the time. Thank you so much. This is Sports Public Show. I remain your host, and you know my name is Kizike. I'll be back on your TV screen again. It will be 11 a.m. Nigerian time tomorrow. Please stay safe.